Okay. Alright, so for those who purchased the 1-250 promo on domain and hosting from us, from 30 Media, what we did was we purchased from GoDaddy and then we linked the name server pointing back to a small orange, which is our hosting. So that's basically what they purchased. It's the hosting and then also the domain. So now, after setting that up, I sent an email with the details on the domain and hosting login. So you should be receiving an email that looks like this. If it's not on your email, find it on your Trello. Because I looked for your name and then I added the details of your hosting on Trello. So basically what you're going to receive is the detail on the domain name, the IP, and then the quota for the hosting. You have your name servers, which was the one we changed in GoDaddy, remember? The last one that I showed you. And then your contact email, and then the package name. So basically what you need here are the following. This one, right? So now we're going to take a look at how to set up the cPanel. So what we're going to do is to actually go here, yung corner.biz, and then / cPanel. So when I give you the URL, the domain name, just put / cPanel. And you should be able to access the cPanel dashboard for your hosting account. Okay, so now you will get the username and the password. Just change na lang later because everyone can see this. Alright, so you put it here, username, password, the one I gave you, and then log in. Okay, so what is cPanel? Your cPanel is your dashboard that would help you navigate in managing your hosting account. So as you can see the username or the current user, and then the domain name, the directory where you can find it, and some other details. Okay, so this is very technical, and those who have what you would say expertise in managing hosting accounts actually are really familiar with cPanel. But what you need to access from here is just your WordPress installation. Okay, but take note that on one of the slide requirements, you need to screenshot this to show the cPanel hosting. Okay, so I think slide 1 you will put your domain name, and then slide 2 you will screenshot this one to show that you have a cPanel account, right? Let me just take a look. Alright, next. So, you're ready to set up your WordPress. So how do you do that? There is a Softaculous. If you scroll down your hosting, you will see this. It's an app installer. And you can see the WordPress. You can install all other scripts, but we will use this one, yung Softaculous. Okay? So you will click on WordPress. And remember that WordPress is really just a 1-minute install. But just to be careful, you have to take a look at all the other details once you install WordPress. So it's showing you here an introduction of WordPress. And then it says install now. So very easy, no? All you have to do is click install now. Let's try and do that and see if napa siya other requirements. Alright, so clicking that, it will show you some options on what you want to set up on your WordPress account. So this one, you don't need to choose kasi it's just automatically showing the latest version of WordPress. So this is what I mentioned before, that WordPress always updates their software. So you need to ensure that WordPress is the updated version on your WordPress site. So leave it at default. Next option, it says choose install URL. So by default, it's showing HTTP. But later on, remember, we need to make this an HTTPS. But that's for another demo na lang. So let's leave it at this, HTTP, yummycorner.biz by default. And then if you notice, it has a WP at the end. So it means to say that For you to go to the site, you have to type yummycorner.biz/WP. And you don't want that, diba? You want them so that when you type yummycorner.biz, automatic you're gonna see the website. So you will remove that one. Right, next, you're going to input the site name. So in your case, this is, what is this name? Yummy Corner Catering Services. So that's the full site name. And then for the site description, we're usually just going to copy that. For your needs, for your party needs. Or you can make it longer na lang yung description. So leave this unchecked, multi-site, because we're just going to use one site. And then for your username and password, I highly suggest you don't use the admin because, you know, bots are trying to use that one already. For demo purposes, I'm just going to use the same username and password. Take note to change this one later. Alright, so I'm just going to use the same hosting, username and password para strong siya. And then I'm going to use your email as the contact. So take note later on when you turn over this one to the client, you will need to tell them what the username and password is for the Cpanel and also for your WordPress. So 2 sets of email yan. And for the admin, you need to add them as admin later on. Okay? So just leave this as default yung sayo na email. Alright, so language, leave it at English. Login attempts, do you want these plugins installed by default? So I'm just going to leave this unchecked so that we can choose the plugins we want later on. So now you go to advanced options, right? You can choose the database name. So this one is by default meron siyang WP135. What I usually do is just leave it like that. But if you really want to make sure na ano siya, customize siya, because if you install a lot of WordPress, it's gonna accumulate ganito. So yung database name mo, I would say leave it at that. If you wanna have or when you use parang code for your client, pwede siyang ganyan, like Yummy Corner. So YC na lang siya. This one by default naka WP. You can also change this kung ano yung ID ng client mo. Or of course, you can always leave it as default kasi isa lang naman yung i-install mo na database and isa lang yung ano siya, mga tables niya, naka-WP na siya immediately. So in this example lang, I choose YC para cleaner siya. So, disable update notification email, leave that unchecked, auto upgrade. So you can do the manual upgrade na lang on your WordPress. Actually, it's better to choose this one because sometimes when no one is managing your WordPress or you forget, hindi siya na automatically update. So just choose upgrade to the latest version available. This means to say that your WordPress will automatically update pag merong new version. Do you want to auto upgrade the plugins? It's better to na lang, leave this unchecked and then you can manually update it later because you might not want to update some plugins. The same with themes. But for this example, in case you will forget again or the client does not know how to manage it, let's just click it as auto upgrade. So now, once you have the check, it means that the system will automatically update any plugin that you have and any theme that you have. Now this is important because you need to have a backup. Okay, so backup location, you can have a local folder, right? So my automatic backup na siya. And then yung automated backups, we can choose once a week. Backup rotation, the default here is just 1, so we'll leave it at that. Alright, now choosing themes, right? So WordPress is giving you options on what theme, initial theme, you want to use. Okay, so this is what is this? This is a catering service. So let's see ano yung better for them. Before, they just give you the default theme, like 2019, 2018, depending on the year. But I guess for this Softaculous installer, they're giving you a lot of options for the theme. So in this case, for catering, maybe we can choose this one. Hungry. Meron siyang food. Okay, so automatic na siya. So let's select that, right? And then, do we have anything else to update? Yes. You need the installation details. So we'll get the email of the scholar, the student, and then paste that para you have a copy of the installation. So now, let's take a look again. You have your version, you have your URL set up, you have your site name, description, you have your admin username, password, you have your email, language, and then advanced options for database, for auto upgrade, for themes, plugins, and for backup. You chose the theme, you chose the email for installation details, and now you're done. You're ready to click install. So let's do that. So now we clicked install. It's saying here, submitting data, finishing installation. That's it. Okay, so now you have to save this information that they gave you para may access ka later for your WordPress. So I'm gonna add that on the Trello. So access assets, I'm gonna add here WordPress plugins, and then I'm gonna paste it here para may reference siya. If I could remember the username password, I will also copy that. Right. So now it's telling you that your website is here at Yummy Corner, and then this is your administrative URL. So let's take a look at the website first, yung raw niya. Okay. So loading yummycorner.biz. Yan. See that? So now you're seeing the website in its raw form, choosing or using the theme that we chose. Ayan. So now all you have to do is to customize this one on the back end. Now to access the back end, this is your administrative URL. For every WordPress site, you're going to see the same pattern. It's always going to be wp-admin to access the dashboard. So when you click that, it's going to show you this. So automatically log in. If you are not automatically logged in, then of course you input your username and your password. So now this is your dashboard for WordPress. This is the one that I showed you, a screenshot. So now it says here, this theme recommends the following plugin. Okay, so it depends on your theme. If they recommend installing a plugin so that it will work correctly, then of course you will install that plugin. And you will do that by just clicking begin installing plugins. Right? So you can see the plugins here, recommended installation, the form, and the import. So let's choose all that, and then you click install and then apply. Alright, so you can see here that it's all installed. The plugins that we chose. Return to installer. Okay. So let's open this one. You can see this button here so that you can see everything on the CMS. Right? So again, a CMS is Content Management System, right? Management system. It is a dashboard for you to be able to manage everything. This is your dashboard home. If you click that, this is what you will see. It's a welcome page. It's going to show you some quick advice or like recommendations on what you need to do. So we're done with this. I'm going to click X. It's giving you instructions on your next steps, like writing your first blog post, your about page, home page, viewing your site, adding widgets, and all that. Right. So we're gonna go to posts. This is where you will add your blog posts. Okay. So when you click post, the default here is hello world. Every single fresh update or install of WordPress will see this. If I open the post, this is the default one. Okay, so parang template lang siya. Alright, so you're done looking at posts. When you want to create a new one, just click add new. So you can do that from here or from here. So let's click add new. So anything you create here will show on the blog. Okay. Let's say Yummy Corner blog. First post. No, just say welcome post. Alright. Then you can start typing. Hello everyone. Welcome. And all that. Okay? So you can preview the post from here so that you will know what it looks like. Of course, you can add photos and images later. And when you're ready to publish, you can do it immediately, or you can always schedule it to a certain date. Especially when you're writing articles for clients where they say you have to publish this at a certain date, a week from now. So you can choose the perfect date for it. But if they didn't specify, then you can always immediately hit publish. Okay, so now that it's published, it means to say that I can see it on my live posts. See that? Okay, so live na yan siya. Now, you want to add media, there's the media library. You can upload photos from here. Your pages actually are what you will use for your About Us, your privacy policy, your return pages, terms and conditions. That's what you will use. The posts are for blog posts. The pages are for the other pages. Okay? You can manage your comments. For appearance, this is where you can customize your themes. Right? So if you want to switch to another theme, you can activate it, or you can add a new theme from here. Okay? And for plugins, let's take a look at the installed plugins. So remember a while ago we were able to install 2, but there are default plugins already for this installation. So now we need to install, let's just close this one because we're done with that. We need to install some plugins that are required. So do you remember the plugins that were required from you? It's Woocommerce, Wordfence, and a backup. And of course, Yoast Seo. So let's do that installation right now. So to do that, you click Add New, and then you search for the plugin. Right? So let's start with Woocommerce. So you see the Woocommerce here, right? As you can see, they have 5 million installations, 3,005 stars. So it means to say, when you look at this, you're gonna be confident that it's a legit version. And this is also important to know if that plugin is compatible with your version of the WordPress, especially when you didn't update your WordPress often, right? So once you're confident that this is a legit plugin, you can click Install Now. Okay, and then activate. Right. So when you click activate, it will ask you to set up the plugin immediately. So let's try doing that now. So where is your store based? Your store is based in the Philippines. Do you have an address for this, Nem?
Yes.
Maybe we can skip that. Let's try to see if that can be skipped. Currency, PHP. What type of products do you plan to sell? Physical products for the catering. Do they sell services also? So let's check that one. Right. Let's go. Right. So it really needs the address. What can we write here? Done. Tama ba? What's the city? For sure. It's actually here. No, what's the legit address of Yummy? Do you know? You don't? The city is Kapatagan, right? Okay. Yan na lang. What's the postcode here? 9214?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so done. Let's go. Right, for payments, do you have a PayPal set up for this? Yeah, you can ask your clients later on to set up PayPal. But how about this address? Do you have a PayPal for this? Alright. So I suggest you set up PayPal so that they can collect online payments. For offline payments, you can activate it, for example, using bank transfer. This is also a requirement for you to show kung ano yung bank transfer accepted by your client, and also cash on delivery. Alright, so activate your PayPal, activate your bank transfer, and your cash delivery. This is under offline payments. And then you click continue. For the shipping method, do they do free shipping or deliveries for orders? How much are the rates? Do you know? Let's say they charge $250 flat rate. For locations not covered, they can do, let's say, 1,000. Okay, we're just assuming here. We'll use kilograms and centimeters, so leave that. And then click continue. Recommended storefront theme, admin, MailChimp, Facebook. So they have recommended features for enhancement of your store. Let's just leave that at default and then click continue. Right. So it says continue with Jetpack. Right. Let's just include that one. These are like default plugins that they suggest to install. So create an account. Maybe we should have just skipped that one. Do you have an account here? I'll just use na lang your name to create an account. Okay, so we're setting up the Jetpack. Should have skipped that. Alright, so it says you're ready to start selling. Yeah, get tips. Okay, let's just skip that. And then from here, we can immediately go to the dashboard to create products. But, okay, ayun. Let's just go to visit dashboard. So when you're done setting up your Woocommerce, we still have other plugins to install. So, as you can see, wala to kanina, diba? So now it has Woocommerce, where you have the dashboard. You can monitor orders, add coupons, do reports, change the settings. You can also add the products here. So this is where you will be doing most of your work, adding the products of your MSME. Okay? So now, let's go back to plugins and add new. We still have to install. What's next? Wordfence. Alright. Let's do that. It's complete. Lots of notifications. Ayun. So, Wordfence. We're searching for Wordfence. Why do we have to install this? Because this helps with your firewall and your malware scans. Right? So, you can see 3 million installations, 5-star, compatible. So you're ready to install. Click install now. Right, and then activate. So there are security alerts that they will send. Make sure that you add your email to it so that you will be notified in case there are problems. And then agree to terms and privacy policy. When a WordPress, no. Right. No thanks. plugin activated. Let's see if meron bang Wordfence. So Wordfence is already here. Okay, let's go to dashboard. So as you notice, if once you install a lot of plugins or lots of notifications, you have to read some of these and make sure that you're clicking the right buttons and adding the right information. No? So your Wordfence dashboard insights to the state of your site's security, and it is also summarized with updates. You can easily monitor your protection from here, right? And then you can go to this to change your options. Okay. So detection of security issues. You can see that there's a scan already because it's activated, no? Right. What else can we do here? 24 hours total attacks. You can see a summary na. Within 24 hours, so 24 days. Right. So this is what you will need to monitor later on to know if you scanned or seen the firewall. So let's try to see manage scan. Okay, scan options and scheduling. So it says here the scan type is standard. You can choose it high sensitivity or custom or limited. Malware signatures, meaning to say that the community update the malware database to know if merong latest na mga problems. So you can see that from here, your options. So general options, these are paid features, but yung basic features are checked by default. Performance options, and then advanced scan options, right? So you can explore this one later on Wordfence. Okay. Let's go back. What else do you need to do? Do a backup. So let's try to search kung ano yung top na backup. I think it's WP backup. So you will need a backup tool because why? In case. That's true. So which one should we use? This one has 2 million installations, 5-star compatible. So we can use Updraft. Yes? Diba? We already did Jetpack, but we can always do another another plugin. So this is an all-in-one WP. You can also use this one if you want, but this one is more suggested. It's the top result kasi, diba? So let's use that. Updraft Plus. Right. Installed, activate. Yan. Most trusted backup plugin. So what should we configure once you have a plugin for backup? So do your first backup. Simple backup of your server. Choose the schedule. Right. Remote storage. I think they will ask you to pay pag advance na yung settings. Ayun, may premium. They're redirecting you to the premium. So let's go to backup. We can click backup now. So now, on the backup, it will include the database and the file. Kasi you will need both when you're creating a site, no? Your database and of course your files. So let's do the backup. Right? It's creating backup of zips and the uploads. Right, so backup is finished. This is the report that you would need to do every week if you back up the site. So now you can see here there is an existing backup. It has a backup of the database, the plugin, the theme, all your uploads. Now, if magka-problema yung site mo, there's a restore button here. Diba? So, if you were able to install a plugin na may spam, tapos meron kang backup, at least all you would need to do is just restore it. You don't need to recreate the whole site again, which is going to cause you pain and suffering. So, migrate, clone, can skip that. Settings, So it says here files backup schedule. This is manually done, but you can set it to weekly, which is our schedule, diba? And retain how many scheduled backups. You can retain 2, so that you will have 2 options. That's for the file. You go to database, same. You can do a weekly backup, still 2. Okay? So once you're done with the settings, just leave the default plugin theme uploads as the backup. Check this box for a basic report, yes. And then you click save. Your settings have been saved. Right. So as you can see, there will be a lot of pop-ups, notifications. Just read that one and then click X na lang pag hindi siya applicable. To make your site secure, optimize the Wordfence. Oh well, we can skip that one na lang. Or we can configure later on. Let's leave that notification there. The next plugin that you will need to install, I'll just include this, is Yoast Seo. Right? The Yoast Seo is what you're going to be working on to get a green light for your 20 pages. As you can see, 5 million installation, 5-star, compatible, install. Right? And then activate. Daming notification. You can see here the Y, that's your Yoast. Okay. Let's read the notification that it gave us. It's asking you to upgrade. So now this is your dashboard. You can see it here on the left hand side also. The Y icon, that's your Yoast Seo. You can go to dashboard, which is this, saying that you have 0 problems, yada yada, features, SEO analysis, readability, the green light, that's your green light. And then your webmaster tools, wherein you can add your Google verification, which we will do later on Google search console. Okay, so once that's done, you can actually navigate to post and see the Yoast being activated there. Right, let's see. For example, this. I click edit. Right. So this is your Yoast Seo. Do you see this? This wasn't here before, but now that we added the plugin, you will have a guide on how to optimize your posts for search engines. So now you have a focus key phrase. For example, if your focus key phrase is yummy corner, you can add that there. So sad face pa siya, red. It will give you recommendations on what to do to improve. So you see this snippet, diba? It means to say that when you search for this, this is what you're going to see on Google. So you can edit that one if you want to improve it or change it. Yeah. So it's still sad. Yung goal mo is dapat green lighted siya. Oh, naka-red pa siya lahat. Yung goal mo is to follow the instructions here so that it will receive the green. Yan. Same with the readability. Passive voice. Meaning to say, of course, I didn't add content yet. For your About Us, if this is post pala, no? For your blog post, then you have to make sure that you add the right length for the content. For example, if they require like 500 words para ma-activate yung green dito, then you follow the instructions. So that's basically how you work on the plugins. I've shown you how to install the plugins via here, and then we've configured all the plugins that we installed so far, which is Yoast, and you have Wordfence, and then you have the Updraft backup. Now, if you want to customize your theme, you can go to themes, or for example, other themes have their own dashboard usually. So you can go to the dashboard of your theme and then try to change the things there. This one is showing choices for the theme. I guess you would have to go to another page or another dashboard to view. Okay, so now you have your WooCommerce activated. You don't have the you don't have just the site, but you also have the store. So when we created this, diba, we saw the site, which is this one. Let me just open the site again. So yummycorner.biz, this is the landing page. This is the home page. Yan. So meron na siyang home, cart, check out my account. This is not the theme we had before. So I think you need to configure the yung home and also the URLs. So your shop, it's still empty kasi wala pang products. So basically, once we added all the plugins, nag-change yung itsura niya. So all you have to do is like try to navigate to the plugins or the themes that you need to work on to customize. General, let's take a look at this. So nag-change yung landing niya. Writing. Leave that at default. Reading. Right. So under settings and reading, kasi it's showing the latest post like this, yung home niya. You don't see the design anymore. I think you will need to change this one to the static page. So yung static page mo, ayun, this is something that you will have to configure pa. Kasi right now, since we added the WooCommerce, it's now showing the posts. This one, you will have to select the home page niya. So for now, let's see if that changed. Ayan. Actually, you have to do another session of configuring the theme niya. Since adding the WooCommerce will change the setup of your theme. Ayan. So for now, that's how you do the installation of your WordPress on Cpanel, especially if you have purchased the domain and hosting, and then that's how you put in the WordPress, configure the plugins, add the theme, and we can work on the content after this. Okay, thank you.